Hey friends, welcome. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Imagine standing at the starting line of your dreams, staring at the horizon of everything you've ever wanted. Now consider this: 99% of the people who are standing there with you will never make it to the finish line. And what's stopping them? Well, today we're going to uncover the real reasons behind why so many people fail. We'll dive into the science of success, revealing powerful strategies that can transform your mindset and make you part of the 1% who achieve their goals. So stick around, because what you hear today could be the turning point in your journey towards success. And what I'm going to be discussing here is how you can avoid these common pitfalls that occur and make people fail. I'm going to use science-backed strategies that have transformed the lives of high achievers. Let's get on it. Lack of clarity. Now, one of the most significant reasons why people fail is a lack of clarity about their goals. You see, the human brain operates on patterns, and it thrives on direction. Neuroscientific studies show that when we set clear goals, we're engaging the prefrontal cortex of our brain, and that's the part of the brain responsible for decision making and forward planning. So, when your goals are vague or undefined, this area of the brain struggles to prioritize actions, and this leads to procrastination and confusion. According to Dr. Edwin Locke's goal-setting theory, specific and challenging goals enhance performance far more than vague or easy ones. Locke's research demonstrates that when people set clear goals, their motivation and performance levels increase by up to 25%. Now, this is because specific goals trigger a mental state called the goal-oriented behavior. And this is where the brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter that drives motivation and success. You see, without a clear target, your brain doesn't have a clear direction, and the motivation to act diminishes. Fear of failure. Fear of failure is rooted in a psychological phenomenon known as the negativity bias, our tendency to focus more on potential losses than gains. Now, this bias is hardwired into our brain's amygdala, the area responsible for processing emotions and fear. And neuroscientific studies have shown that when we perceive a threat, the amygdala triggers the fight or flight response, causing us to avoid risks even when they could lead to growth and learning. And however, embracing failure is a cornerstone of success too. Research from Stanford University reveals that when we make mistakes, our brains actually grow. The brain creates new synaptic connections through a process called neuroplasticity, which strengthens our ability to learn from errors and adapt to new challenges. Dr. Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset also supports this idea, showing that people who see failure as opportunity to learn more are resilient, innovative, and ultimately more successful. Lack of discipline and consistency. You see, most people start their journey to success with a huge burst of enthusiasm, only to lose momentum when motivation fades. Now, what separates the 1% from the rest is discipline and consistency, not just bursts of effort. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who engage in consistent, deliberate practice are far more likely to reach their goals than those who rely on short-term motivation. Our brains are built to create habits through a process called myeliniation. Now, this process strengthens the connections between neurons that are repeatedly activated. The more you practice a behavior, the more myelin wraps around these neural pathways, making the action faster and more automatic. According to research by Dr. Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, the single greatest predictor of success is not talent, but perseverance and consistent effort. Her studies show that individuals who exhibit grit are more likely to achieve long-term goals, even in the face of repeated failures. Lack of belief in yourself. You see, self-belief plays a critical role in determining whether or not we achieve our goals. This concept is supported by the self-efficacy theory, developed by psychologist Albert Bandura. Self-efficacy is the belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations. Bandura's research shows that people with high self-efficacy set more challenging goals, are more committed to achieving them, and show greater resilience in the face of setbacks. Now, neurologically, self-belief triggers the release of dopamine in the brain's reward centers, boosting motivation and increasing the likelihood of taking proactive steps toward your goal. Now, a study in the Journal of Nature Neuroscience shows that higher levels of self-belief corresponded to increased activation of the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, an area linked to decision-making and value judgments. Now, this means that when you truly believe in your potential, your brain literally changes its circuitry to prioritize actions that align with your goals. Conversely, when you lack self-belief, your brain activates the default mode network, which is associated with rumination and negative self-talk. This network reinforces limiting beliefs and convinces you that change is impossible, keeping you stuck in a cycle of inaction. You see, breaking free from this requires a conscious effort to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, as emphasized by Dr. Dweck's research. Now, success isn't about the talent you're born with or the resources you have at your disposal. It's about the belief you cultivate, the habits you build, and the actions you consistently take. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and refusing to let setbacks define you. So, now you know why the 99% of people fail. The real question is, what will you do differently? Are you going to continue to let fear, doubt, and lack of clarity hold you back? Or will you harness the science of success to your advantage? Your brain is wired for growth, for adaptation, and for resilience. You have the tools within you to rise above any obstacle and create the life you've always dreamed of. So, as we leave here today, I just want you to remember this. I care about you, and I believe in you. And think about it. Every great achievement started as a decision to keep pushing forward, no matter how many times failure seemed inevitable. You know, science proves that your brain can be rewired, your mindset can shift, and your habits can change. The path to success isn't easy, but it's the journey itself that makes the victory meaningful. Will you be a part of the 99% who let their dreams slip away? Or will you join the 1% who choose to fight for them? The power is in your hands, and it all begins with believing that you are capable of so much more than you ever imagined. I want to end this today by just telling you a brief story of why I do a lot of these videos about the brain. So when I was 16, I had a massive stroke that actually killed me. And a large portion of the right lobe of my brain, the right side of my brain, was damaged in the stroke, and to the point where actually I wasn't even able to continue normal bodily function. That's why I died, right? So I was dead for almost an hour, hooked up to an EEG and an EKG. I was the longest clinically documented death case in America at the time. I don't follow these trends, so I'm not sure if I still have a record. It's not necessarily the record that I want to have, right? But as a result, I was totally paralyzed on the left side of my body. Well, guess what? I can use the left side of my body. You know why? Because my brain rewired itself, and it relearned how to take over for the functions that were damaged. And as a result, I have an Ivy League MBA. I do these videos every day. I have incredible knowledge and incredible ability. I've changed several technology verticals in America. My wife and I own businesses. We're successful entrepreneurs. All of this is possible because my brain had the ability to rewire itself and put me back into a circumstance of function. You see, anybody's brain can do that. Anybody. So no matter where you are right now, what you think you're capable of, what you think you know or don't know, you can change. Your brain has the ability to change. If there are some points of contention in your mind, maybe that you're weak on, sometimes my short-term memory is not so good. My long-term memory is in some ways pretty much gone. I can't really, as a result of my stroke, remember any of my childhood. My life basically starts at about the age of 16 with bits and drops up until college, and then I don't know what changed then, but all of a sudden I just had this miraculous new ability to acquire information and use it in an efficient way. But anybody can do this. If I can, anybody else can. I'm not special in any way. I'm dealing with the same physical faculties as anybody else. I have a brain, 2 eyes, nose, mouth. There's nothing different about me than any other human being. We're all the same biologically, from the standpoint of we all have the same organs. Our brains have all the same pieces and parts. And so as a result, we can change things for ourselves if we want to. I just wanted to share that with you. I know some people ask questions. Why are you always talking about the brain? And the brain's amazing. It's an incredible computer. It has its own innate ability to change itself in a way to function in the best way possible for the circumstance we're currently putting ourselves in. You want to change things? All you got to do is change things. I read something the other day that said, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And sometimes it's easy if you want to change your life. All you have to do is change your life. Do different things. Get different results. It's that easy. But it's hard to convince people that it's that easy. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Believe in yourself, because that supercomputer sitting on your shoulders, I'm telling you what, I don't care what you've been told or what you currently believe. It's the same supercomputer everybody else is dealing with. Look at where other people are. They might be where you want to be. You can get there too. I remember sitting in a wheelchair paralyzed thinking I'm never going to do anything. And I've done so much. I hope it inspires you to get up and get those shoes on and get moving towards your goals. Build big dreams. If you never shoot for the stars, you're never going to find yourself among them. But I tell you what, take a shot. Throw as many darts as you can. Sometimes you just hit the bullseye. And sometimes one hit of the bullseye is all you truly need to just completely change your life and the lives of those who depend on you or who are around you, who look up to you. But I think I've said enough now. I'm just kind of rambling. My wife's looking at me here. But don't forget, you can do so much more. It's why I do all these videos. I just want people to believe in themselves and know that they can do anything. I'm the least common denominator. I was never very smart. I never really had, I didn't have a good upbringing. We weren't rich. I only had a single parent family, which isn't a negative thing in my case. I had a good parent. But it's one of those things, all I want to do is convince people that they can have better and do better. So I hope I inspire you. Stick with me. If you don't subscribe to the channel, subscribe. If you wouldn't mind, share my videos on your social media. Let's get more people to join us. I tell you what, let's make this the biggest thing ever. The more people we help, the better we'll do. Zig Ziglar used to say something that has stuck in my mind my entire life. He said, you can have anything you want in this life as long as you help enough other people get what they want. It's true, 100%. So have a beautiful day, my friends. I'll be back tomorrow with some more great stuff. Who knows what we'll talk about? Probably more brain things, maybe some other things. But I guarantee you it's going to be good information, and it's going to motivate us to continue down this path together. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.